Since the R34 GTR quarter panels were installed, the car was transported to a friend's shop so he could get the work started. You can see he already started. He did the pillars and a few spots here and there on the rear GTR quarter panels. Unfortunately, I did not get to record this part. That's why I'm showing you guys pictures. He also did a little bit of seam sealer on the edges on the exterior of the GTR quarter panels. Also ended up primary locking the rear quarter panels. And man, this thing looks insane. It looks like the car came like that. It's crazy what a little Bondo and primer could do to a car. With that being said, this car is almost ready for paint. But before we get this paint process started, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what color I chose for this R34 and why I did. So it's really hard to choose a color for the R34. I believe any color on the R34 looks really good, like the silver right here. White also looks amazing. Millennium Jade, red, and of course Midnight Purple. I mean, I love Midnight Purple, but I feel like in the sun, this color really doesn't look as good. I mean, certain angles, of course, the colors pop, but this angle right here, as you can see, as the colors fade into the black, I don't know, to me it just looks off. The color just looks really dull here. I was also thinking about keeping the car orange because it is a really nice color, but I feel like it hides the taillights too much, as you can see here. And I feel like the taillights are an iconic part of the R34, and that's why I wanted them to pop and not be hidden. So I decided on TV2 Bayside Blue. Yes, I know a lot of people have it, but in my eyes, I believe this is the best looking color on the R34. Not only that, but I feel like this color looks good in any lighting or any time of day. Whether it's super bright outside or cloudy, this color just looks good regardless. So this is the color I'm sticking with. Now let's get this video started. So today is the day the R34 is finally gonna head to the paint booth. It's finally gonna be one solid color. We got the Z-Tune fenders on, we got the door jambs painted, just a little bit of minor touch-ups that he has to do to get this car ready to actually spray. Yeah, some of the areas masked off already. The rear quarter panels are looking good, just a little bit of sanding, seam sealers on. Inside the gas door is painted already. The gas door jamb, whatever you want to call that, is painted. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this R34 rolling to the booth. So the R34 is finally in the booth and ready for some paint. The car is all masked up. So the paint we're going with is the TV2, which is a 3-stage paint. So we're going to throw on a white primer first, followed by a blue base coat. After the blue base coat will be the TV2, which is a transparent paint. So that blue base coat will just cover up the car nicely and leave a good foundation for that TV2 Bayside Blue. Also, don't worry about the orange GTT hood. We're actually going to spray the R-Tune hood separately, so just pay no mind to that. R34 is finally in one solid color, and man, this thing looks so good. It's hard to capture the true color on camera, so I'm using my camera here. You can see the difference. This is my phone here. You can see the color variations. It's completely different, and in person it looks way better than it does on camera. Man, I'm so glad the car is finally in one color. We got the Z-Tune bumper painted, we got the trunk painted. Next step is painting the R-Tune hood. But man, this color, I'm telling you guys, it looks so much better in person, and it's gonna look a million times better when this whole car is put together. I cannot wait to show you guys. So the R-Tune hood is finally sanded down, and we're debating on either painting this or leaving it carbon. So we decided to paint it with some exposed carbon. In order to do it without it looking cheesy, we decided to only do minor things to it so the hood still looks good. And we're of course leaving the bottom carbon. So the R-Tune hood is done, and I wanted to come up with a different way to expose the carbon as opposed to everybody else and how they just leave the louvers carbon or the hood fully carbon or fully painted. So that's why I added these touches right here, which is this Ed Range decal that we threw on before paint. So now we removed it, and now that is exposed carbon. We also got, oh my god, that is insane, that Nismo inside the vents leaves a reflection. It just makes it that much better. I did not know it was gonna do that, but now seeing that, I'm glad I did that Nismo inside. It just looks so crazy, that reflection in person, man. Also left some more exposed carbon, which are these fins right here, and it's not too much carbon, not too little carbon. Makes the hood look that much better. So this was my first time seeing the R34 outside of the paint booth, and unfortunately I can't show you guys what it looked like as soon as it came out because my camera died at this point, and I ended up coming back once the car was wet sanded and ready for another 3 coats of clear. So I'm back after the extra 3 coats of clear were added to the car, and I'm happy to see that the glass is back on the car. Huge shout out to S&M Auto Glass for getting that done. It seems to line up good. All the edges, corners line up good, so I'm happy with the install, and I'm glad that the glass didn't break in the process. This paint job looks so good, and as you can see on the inner fenders, he added some rhino liner just to make it look a little bit better, protect it from rock chips, etc. But this paint looks like glass, man, and this is still not the final polish. It's just a buff with compound, not the final polish. The hood is getting worked on right now, as you can see. This car is looking better day by day, looking more like a complete car, and I cannot wait to take this back with me and put everything back on. It's going to be a little bit more, but it'll be definitely worth it, man. Just look at this Bayside blue. I'm telling you guys, this Bayside blue just looks really good from every angle. It's insane. Definitely need some better wheel fitment back there. So the R34 is almost ready for me to take home. The car still has to get polished. Once again, this is just compound. It's gonna have much more of a glossier finish once it is done, and I cannot wait. So the trunk is back on, bumpers, mirrors, door handles, glass, almost everything is back on. It's starting to look like a real car again. We still got a few more things left over, like the tail lights, gas cap. We just have a lot of stuff to put on. That includes the R-Tune hood and the Z-Tune bumper, but before we do that, we got to swap out all the brackets, bumper support, all the hinges, etc. from GTT to GTR. So we're going to go ahead and do that in the next couple of episodes. So make sure you stick around and watch just so you can see this car complete. After that, this build is just going to continue to get better and better.